Hey guys, this is Lauren with Special Olympics Maine, and we are here today with a few of our equestrian committee members, really going through an overview of what our fall program will look like this year. So before we jump into our updates and overview of the program itself, I'm going to hand it over to a few of our committee members to first introduce themselves. So Ashley, let's start with you, and then we'll move on to Kim.
Hi, I'm Ashley Ellis. I'm a board member for the last little bit here and have been a volunteer or a coach since the very beginning. Happy to be here and really happy that we were able to put our heads together and hopefully come up with an event that's going to be really fun for everybody this fall.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm the Special Olympics Equestrian Committee Chair, taking over for Peter Selwood, who has courageously led this group for the past 20 plus years. He is still an integral part of this group and is by no means dropping off the face of the earth with this committee, but I'm starting to take the reins from him, so to speak, and it's been a lot of fun. Looking forward to our virtual event this year and cannot wait to see all of your shining faces.
Awesome. Stephanie, take it away.
I'm Stephanie Keene, and I am part of the Special Olympics, coaching training committee now. And Peg Lawler and I started Special Olympics Equestrian Maine years ago. Still here and excited to help do a virtual event this year.
A little different, but still here.
Yeah, a little different.
And Rachel, there you go.
Hi, I'm Rachel Hanisch. I'm also on the Special Olympics Equestrian Committee, and I've been a volunteer for several years now, and I'm really excited about what we can all do together this year. Thanks.
Awesome. So guys, what we're going to do real quick, and throughout this kind of overview and presentation, you're going to actually see parts of our faces, but mainly the screen itself. So we're going to share our screen with you, and we're actually going to jump into why we are here today and the quick kind of overview that's led us to a virtual competition this year instead of our in-person competition. So, with a lot of definitely adaptations moving forward. Currently, Special Olympics Maine is in our return to play phase 1, which is allowing teams, programs, and athletes to be able to participate on a small group basis. So they can absolutely practice and train for specific Special Olympics Maine sports within less than 10 people and keeping the distance definitely physically distant. So we do have our return to play protocols up on our website. However, this will also be within the information and resource kind of guides that will be out to our equestrian community and our programs and teams shortly. So what you are seeing on your screen right now is actually the return to activities protocol. So if we scroll all the way down here, you will see that we actually have an appendix here, and with that we will have our code of conduct form. So with this form, it really lays out that you are choosing to participate in the activity, in the sport itself, and can therefore really check off those requirements. And that second page is really allowing you to be able to fill out your name, the participant name, the signature, and if it's a guardian that's filling that out, that's okay too. If you're under 18, we want to make sure that you guys are on board with following our specific guidelines and definitely the protocols to run a safe event and a safe virtual event. Even though we might not be together, we certainly want to make sure that you are following these guidelines even through video submissions. So when we mention video submissions, which actually will be kind of where we jump into next, is that this year we are releasing 2 ways to be able to really participate in our virtual event. And I actually will kind of lean on Kim to be able to describe the 2 ways that we are allowing participants and athletes to engage with us this fall. So Kim, if you want to quickly just explain the 2 ways for athletes to participate with us this throughout really the end of the week to September.
Sure. So there are two ways you can participate. One way is to practice actually riding on horseback. And then when you are ready, be videoed demonstrating your abilities. Those videos will be submitted, and we'll get into that later. The second way you can participate is to work in an activity book of sorts. It has all kinds of fun and neat equestrian themed activities in it. Everything from your equestrian knowledge, word searches, coloring, dot to dots, and so on. I won't tell you all the juicy details inside because I want to leave some of that for your imagination. But we're really looking forward to having all of our athletes be able to participate and be a part of our virtual event this year.
Awesome. So like Kim said, we'll have two different options for athletes to participate with us this year. For those that will be participating virtually through video submission, we will have a separate registration form for you. So on the screen itself, you should be able to see that Google form to be able to register for the event. So we'll have a quick introduction of the actual divisions and then also the events offered. So like always, if you are just joining us for the first time, this might be a newer process for you, but if you aren't joining us for the first time, this Google form will look pretty similar to what in years past they've looked like. So really simple process. You'll have the ability to be able to register up to, I believe, 5 athletes within this page itself. If you have more athletes that are interested in participating, you can add or complete another registration form. So a similar kind of layout will be offered for those kind of honorary participants that only want to be able to or can only do the activity book. It will also be able to receive our really neat 2020 equestrian pin and also a 2020 t-shirt. So both athletes, if you're doing a video submission, you'll be receiving those goodies as well. If you're also receiving the activity book, you'll be receiving those as well. So that's the process in terms of registration. We'll be linking all of this to our information as well. So before we kind of jump into our next one, I want to go over a quick timeline. So you should see on your screen, and I'll highlight this so you can follow along, is that there is a competition date. So we have our previous one was supposed to be for October 3rd at Skowhegan. So that was supposed to be our in-person one. So just to make sure that we are on the same page, that event is canceled for this year. It is no longer in person on October 3rd. Instead, we are taking that virtual approach. Kim briefly described the 2 ways to participate within our virtual event, and then also with receiving the activity book. We'll then jump to that kind of third line down that I've highlighted there. On Friday, August 21st, which is actually this coming Friday, we hope to be able to release our 2020 virtual equestrian competition information and all of the ways to be able to participate with us and kind of the guidelines to go along with us, and also all of the resources that we will be talking about in this video. So that will be out at the end of this week. You'll have the opportunity, if you're going to that first or wanting to participate in that first video submission, we will be accepting all videos through Sunday, September 27th. So you have a chunk of time to be able to, get the videos to us in terms of coaches or programs helping the athlete out. We'll have a chunk of time, close to 4 weeks, that actually the athlete could be able to submit the video to us. And we'll go over the different ways later of how to get that video directly to us. With that, the day before of the accepting of the deadline of the videos, we'll actually have a virtual opening ceremonies. We know this is a special experience for our athletes and volunteers and committee members, so we want to make sure we kind of keep in line with that. So we'll have the opening ceremony scheduled for this Saturday, September 26th. Will be taking place on Zoom, so there'll be more details coming out about that. And likewise, we want to be able to hold our awards virtually and our closing ceremonies virtually. So that will be October 3rd. So we hope to be able to kind of keep that. As you can see, that October 3rd was supposed to be the date of our in-person event anyway. So we want to make sure that we have our awards and our closing ceremonies with you guys on Zoom. So that is our timeline. I know a lot of information out, but again, we'll have this written as well out for you guys within our informational packet. So without further ado, I'm actually going to go here and we're going to jump right back to our registration real quick. And what I'm going to do is hopefully make this screen a little bit bigger so you can follow along with me and see that we are offering the same divisions and classes that we had before. So if you can kind of see here, I've highlighted in blue the divisions of A, B, C, D, I being independent, and S needing the support of any kind. So we want to make sure that we are following as much as we can in line with what we traditionally do with our divisions and classes. Same with that, the events offered this year within our virtual kind of video submission platform will be showmanship, equitation, working trail, hand trail, and driving. So those 5 will be what we offer this year virtually. And again, if we don't have any submissions for specific events within this virtual event itself, that's okay. So we'll make sure that we fit in those participants and those athletes that want to engage in those events. So with that, what we are going to quickly do is move right into our next section of, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so we can follow along, and how to really work through what a safety check is to make sure that our athletes are safe when they're out there, even though we might not be at a in-person virtual or an in-person event, but what to really follow along as you are videoing your specific event.
Thank you. So for those of you that attend our event in person, you're really probably familiar with the fact that before you enter the ring each time, we have safety check staff that are checking out all of these things I've listed here. And that's just to ensure that every athlete that participates, their equipment is appropriate, things are adjusted appropriately, they have their helmet, appropriate clothing, also the bridle, the rules will all be the same as if we were together in real life. Bridles must include a bit. We don't do any bitless or hackamore bridles at the event. For those horses that are being led, their halter and lead line should not interfere with the reins so that the athlete is in control of the horse. And as always, no chains over or under the nose. And so the purpose of this safety check is going to be, you will actually be doing this yourself. So your volunteers that are trained to look for these things, your head of delegation, will be running through this list yourself. And when you submit a video, you're going to be introducing that video with the rider's name, their division, and you will just confirm verbally and say a safety check has been completed. That will allow you to begin your class. We really want to make sure each time, girths and cinches are checked, stirrups are adjusted properly, just like we would in person.
Perfect. Awesome. So again, this will be a resource that is linked to all of our information and should be able for you guys to follow along as you're submitting the video and actually recording the video. So with that as well, I'm actually going to jump to Kim and possibly Rachel to add in. They came up with a wonderful video. I'm going to show this on the screen. We actually won't play it, but Kim and Rachel, if you want to give us a quick overview of your demonstration video and what to include within your video, and then we'll have a kind of more detailed piece for you guys to follow along with.
Sure, thanks. So Rachel videoed me riding, and at the very beginning of the video, when you watch it, you'll hear that a safety check has been completed before the video started, and you should make sure that that safety check is indeed completed before your athletes ride. And then you should definitely name your team's name, the rider's name, the division that they are entering in. For example, if they're a B-level independent rider, you would say BI. And then all of the specifications and what we're looking for exactly to be included in your video will be on an information sheet attached to this video. So for example, if you're a B independent, we would let you know how many times you need to walk around the arena, how many times you trot, whether or not there's going to be a halt in there, and also the lineup at the end of your riding. So please make sure you refer to that sheet to know exactly what's going on.
Awesome. So like
And just to add to that a little bit too, we talked about, we want to make sure that we give each athlete their due. So we're asking that athletes are videoed individually, so that we can be sure that the judge is clear on who they are evaluating. You can accomplish that any number of ways, however that works for you. But we also plan to use this as an opportunity to get some fans in our group where these videos will be posted, and we want to be able to cheer for folks. So I want to be really clear who's participating.
Perfect. Thank you both for that. So we will quickly kind of move along here. And again, those expectations that were just laid out for you guys will also be in a detailed kind of page for you to be able to find and kind of check off, you know, did I explain this in the video? Did I include this in my title? So that will be laid out for you guys too on a one-page document. Quickly, Ashley is going to go over our working trails kind of platform and structure this year. We do and will have, including the diagram itself, and then also the language and the written directions to go along with it. So Ashley, you want to say a few things about this?
Sure, thank you. So just like you're probably familiar with coming to our event, we created a pattern for you this year with a variety of obstacles. We are hopeful that you would have a lot of these common objects in your training programs, but aware of the fact that you might not have everything. And so it's okay to substitute, you know, if you don't have as many cones as we have, if you have another substitute in their place. Really, we want you just to be practicing the spirit of this activity, which is navigating your horse independently as possible through these elements. If you have any questions or the diagram or the spacing or something like that, please reach out to us. We tried to make the written directions really explicit. There are different tasks for different levels, so you'll want to read that carefully. You know, for instance, on the serpentine, a level A and B would trot or jog, whereas C and D would be walking. So you want to be really mindful of those things, so the judge can make sure when they're looking that, you know, you've completed that piece of the obstacle correctly for your level and division. So, and yes, Lauren just put that up there. So my email is on there too. If you have a question, you could certainly reach out to me that way.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley, for that. Again, those two documents will be uploaded for you guys to see as well. So with that, and before we kind of jump on here, I want to make sure that we are following perfect. All right, so we're going to quickly jump into how our scoring system is a little bit different this year in terms of holding a virtual event instead of in person. And we do have our traditional and regular judges that are at our in-person event joining us this year virtually and guiding us through a new kind of scoring system. So we have two documents to kind of help and give you guys a better idea of what this judging system will look like this year. And both Ashley, Kim, Rachel, Stephanie, if you guys want to add to this in any way to explain what this will look like and what athletes and coaches can understand of what this scoring system is this year.
Sure. So the reason we considered this system for folks that are familiar with 4-H, this is a common system that's used. For one thing, we're not totally sure how to predict our participation yet. So we wanted to really be sure that if maybe we don't have more than one person in a class, or if we have lots of people in one class and not so much in another, that we were recognizing everybody's skills and rewarding them for what they're able to show us. So a Danish system looks at every rider has the ability to achieve each of these categories based on how they perform, being an excellent, good, and fair sort of qualification. So we're hopeful that this is fun for folks, and you know that you can put your best foot forward, and you know the judges are familiar with this process, so it should work out pretty well, and should be really inclusive of, you know, celebrating everybody's hard work. That's our goal.
Perfect. Exactly what Ashley said. So we have two kind of documents here that we are might be taking a few edits to and adding a few things to, but certainly will be for you to be able to read through and really understand why we are taking this approach this year, and hopefully, as Ashley said, a little bit more inclusive, and definitely during the times we are in, more appropriate. So Kim, are we good with that? And kind of give me a heads up if that all sounds good. Perfect. So we will actually jump to a really fun aspect and way to be able to engage with us this year. And if you aren't already a part of our Facebook group, recently renamed to the Special Olympics Maine Equestrian 2020 Virtual Horse Show. So it did have a name before, a previous name. We updated that name. This page is actually, we have a lot of committee members on there, some volunteers, some of those that, some coaches that are interested within our program. And this year, we want our athletes and other coaches and volunteers to really engage in this page. And this is where we will be hosting and posting our videos that will be submitted. So with that, we actually do, and I'll show this right off the bat, is that if you are a registered athlete with Special Olympics Maine, you will have had already hopefully completed our athlete registration packet that does include our medical forms, page 1 and 2, but also includes a waiver and release form. So if you look at number 2 where it says photo release, Special Olympics organizations may use my picture and may use my video and name and voice and words to promote Special Olympics. So if you're signing off on this athlete release or consent form, you are signing off that is okay for your video to be posted on a public site, or for us to be able to share, to be able to promote for you and for our program. So to be able to post this within Facebook, we need to make sure that that release form is completed and signed. So we will attach that with our documents as well as a reminder for those participants or guardians to sign off on that. So with this Facebook page, we also hope to have a event page that we will share and hopefully kind of promote some participation. But this kind of closed private group is really where we want to be able to have all of you guys gather in terms of athletes and coaches and volunteers to really submit those videos. That's one way to do it. If you want to upload directly on there, that is totally fine. The other few ways that you can actually upload your video or send that in is if you look here. Actually, if you look here, so 3 different options through that Facebook page I just showed you. Another one will we actually will have a Google Drive folder that we will allow you to upload or drop in your video that does allow longer videos to be uploaded. So I know it can be kind of frustrating sometimes if you have a longer video and it might not upload as quickly or might not upload at all, depending on the size of the file. So Google Drive is a great spot for that and pretty easy to be able to upload. The other third option, Kim has been great to be able to say, you can text me. So please text her with your video submissions and only video submissions. She is a teacher, so let's not keep her busy for too long. But Kim has been graciously allowing us to be able to have her cell phone number on there, and you can also text her the video. So if you film this on an iPhone or an Android or a tablet and you want to be able to submit it via text, you can actually text her the video and we will make sure that it's uploaded onto an appropriate platform for you. So again, all of that information will be laid out for you guys. Again, 3 options to really upload those videos this year. Quickly, again, I had showed you that waiver. This is included in our athlete registration form, and we'll make sure that is linked with all of the information for the virtual event for you guys. And with that, I want to just double check. Perfect. I want to open up to at least our committee members that are on today with any kind of last minute overview or anything that we want to include for those that are watching today's video. And if not, at least be able to say, if you do have questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us. I know that on the information that we'll release is that you'll find Ashley's email address, you'll find Kim's email and cell phone number, and you'll also find my email and cell phone number on that as well. So definitely we'll have different ways for you guys to ask your questions, and we hope to be able to kind of bump up some more of our participation level of athletes joining in this year. But Ashley, Kim, Rachel, Steph, if you're still on too, any last minute kind of comments before we sign off?
Lauren, there was one question that our committee members had that I'm pretty sure our participants will also have that we answered was, can you participate in the virtual event and do the activity book? And the answer to that is yes.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Kim has been great with putting this activity book together. So we want to make sure that if you want to be able to stay busy before, during, after the event, that activity book absolutely can be sent to you. So we will have an electronic version of that will be through PDF. That will be easy to kind of open and access and print out. And we also will have printed versions if you do not have a printer at home, and we can coordinate a way to get that book to you.
One thing I just wanted to add, and I hope that we're able to reach out to coaches who maybe have athletes who aren't able to participate. Maybe, you know, we know that a lot of group homes have restrictions on visitors and travel and such, to really reach out and say, we would like to include anyone who would like to join us that maybe has joined us in the past, that, you know, misses watching horses go round and round. You know, to really reach out. I mean, this activity book option, also there'll be the pin and the t-shirt. We hope it's a way for folks to feel included while, you know, this time that we have to stay apart from a lot of things that we really love and enjoy. So spread the word, you know, really, we would like to include as many folks as we can.
Awesome. And thank you, Ashley, for that. We hope you guys be able to watch this video. If you, again, have any questions, we are here to answer them. And we want to be able to kind of hold, even though it's a little bit different, a really great 2020 virtual equestrian event. So with that, thank you guys so much. Thank you for the committee members to come on today to be able to run this with us. And we hope to be able to have the resources out to you guys by this Friday. So we're looking forward to it, and we hope to see you guys soon. All right, let me go.